Yo, I just got a Switch 2 pre-order, so let me tell you about it. So this story, I guess, takes place within 2 days. I'm gonna tell you my failed attempt, then I'm gonna tell you the what I ended up doing to actually get the pre-order. So today's the 25th as of filming this. So 2 days ago, on the 23rd, I was working, and I'd seen that morning on Nintendo's whatever social media that they're opening pre-orders that night, but I was closing at work. So I decided to download literally all of the apps of the retailers that would be doing the Switch 2 pre-order. So I had all these apps on my phone, and I was talking to some of my managers. We were talking about the Switch 2. Then we decided that once it hits midnight, whether we're done closing or not, we would just quickly try to see if we can get pre-orders for ourselves. Thankfully, we ended up getting done closing the building at like 11:50, 11:55. So I was able to clock off, then head to the guest service station with one of my managers. We were sitting together. My manager got his laptop. I got my iPhone. We had a timer set up for once it hits midnight. And once it hit midnight, we both went to Target. And Target is what gave us the most progress. My manager was able to secure a pre-order. He kind of kept brute forcing his way through. And eventually he was charged for the Switch 2. But I guess since the website was super buggy, it didn't pop up on his account like immediately after the purchase. But on my end, I didn't get a Switch. So my manager did. I didn't get a Switch. I made it kind of close. I was able to put it in my cart, but whenever I would try to put in my shipping info and my credit card info, it would start bugging out. And whenever I'd switch to like Walmart or Best Buy or even GameStop, I thought GameStop was doing it, they would just kind of crash as soon as I'd open the page. So I was kind of like banking on Target, which, I couldn't get. So I was kind of upset. But the following morning, that's when GameStop does their in-person pre-orders. So what I did was I went to bed. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. because I went to see a movie. But I went to bed at like 4 a.m. I woke up, brushed my teeth. Then at like 10 a.m. I left to go to GameStop, to camp outside GameStop. And I secured a spot in line. There were, I think, 40 people in line before me. And I was able to secure a Switch 2 pre-order spot in line. So I had to wait outside for like another hour and a half. So that was kind of annoying, but it was kind of nice out, so I didn't mind. Eventually, a lady came by and gave us a piece of paper, like, oh, which Switch do you want? So I ended up getting the Mario Kart one. Honestly, looking back, I kind of wish I got the regular one and I just bought Mario Kart physically, because if it wasn't obvious, I like my physical games. But it's fine, I gotta save money, and yeah, it's not the end of the world. So I ended up doing that. Then on the piece of paper, you can check off other things you want. So I also ended up checking a camera, a Pro Controller, and Donkey Kong. So yeah, then later the building opened, we were all let in, and then now we just had to wait for the cashiers to kind of do their thing. And I was about like halfway in line. Surprisingly, the GameStop that I went to, they still had Switch 2 pre-orders at open, which means that I could have just shown up at the time the doors open and I would have gotten a Switch 2 pre-order. Eventually, we go through the line, and then I'm at the cashiers finally after like another hour and a half. I had to call my manager because I worked the next day too. I called my manager, or I sent him a text on the phone, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna be 30 minutes late. I don't give him a reason. And then 30 minutes later, I'm like, yo, add another to that. I ended up being an hour late because my shift was at 1, but I ended up getting there at 2. So they weren't too upset. I told them in person once I clocked on, and they thought it was hilarious. So thankfully, nothing bad happened out of that. But yeah, I'm in line at the cashier station. It's my turn. It's annoying because I was like 40th in line, and it took forever because I get they're doing their job, but these GameStop employees are trying to push everything. It's like, oh, would you like to upgrade your account? No, thank you. Would you like to buy the protection plan? No, thank you. Would you like to add this stuff? No, thank you. They're trying to push all these things on you. They're trying to get you to buy stuff. And I was kind of suckered into renewing my membership because I just kind of wanted to, get to work. But, when I made it there, I was able to get Donkey Kong off of my list of pre-orders because I kind of realized I don't really want to pre-order it from GameStop. And I asked them if they could add the Terabyte Express micro SD card. The guy says, sure, of course. And they don't. You know, I have my receipt right here. I ended up paying for everything in full. At GameStop, you only need like a $50 deposit and then like $5 per accessory. I was like, I'm just gonna take care of it all at once. I don't want to worry about it later. And looking at my receipt, they didn't add the SD card, which sucks. But it's not like I'm planning on buying a lot of digital games. I'm only really going to be buying the AAA first-party releases physically, so I'm not too upset. You know, something interesting that I want to note, on the receipt, it says deposits for pre-orders. I'm not going to be able to include a picture because I don't really want to accidentally show anything. But it says Nintendo Switch 2 Mario Kart World Bundle. And then it says $529.99 out of $499. They just added an extra $30. Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller, $90.09 out of $84.99. Nintendo Switch 2 camera, $58.29 out of $54.99. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's because I was suckered into buying the renewal membership and it's gonna like charge me back or something. But yeah, I paid extra. But then again, it's fine. It's only like another $40. It sucks, but I'd gladly pay an extra $40 if it meant I could get the Switch 2 at launch. I think I ended up spending like $700, which it's a lot of money, but I expected to spend that like about that much money. I knew I was gonna buy like everything or a lot of the bigger things, like, you know, the camera, the Pro Controller, the SD card. So I wasn't too upset over it. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about. So I got a Switch 2. I don't know if I'm gonna make any YouTube videos. I mean, I probably will make a couple YouTube videos when I get the console. But then again, I kind of want to just enjoy it on my own, not have to worry about filming stuff for my page. But yeah, that's going to be about it. You have a good one. Take care.